Stay tuned, people. If you're new to the channel, I cover prison and life stories. Alright now, today I have a great topic for you guys. It's a great story, but even better topic. Cop killers. What happens to cop killers in prison? Yeah, y'all. What do y'all think? Let's engage. Let's get in that comment box. Let's talk about it. Open it up. Who want to be first? Let's talk about it. What happens to a cop killer when they go to prison? What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner. And this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So, today we're going to get into a very interesting topic. You saw the thumbnail. Cop killer meets the Punisher. Well, before we get to the story, let's talk about it, people. What do y'all think happens to cop killers? What do you think happens, people? Duh. Who's running the prison systems? Cops. Cop killers have the worst bid, probably right along with somebody that comes in on bad charges. That's borderline coming in on bad charges, because it's like you're going to come in with some stain and respect. A lot of them gangsters in there going to respect you for having the balls to do that. But on the other hand, all the cops, which pretty much have the say of when you eat, when you sleep, when you wash up, when you come out of lockup, they can make your bid very, very tough. Now, as you can already imagine, for a cop killer, the process don't start when you get to prison. The process starts before you even make it to the county lockup. Before you get to the police station, they're going to take you in an alleyway or somewhere and work you out. They're going to turn them body cams off. They're going to take you somewhere dark, about 6 or 7 of them, and they're going to work you out. Then they're going to drag you in there and say, this is how they found you. This is how they found you, y'all. Y'all don't know what happened. All y'all got the same story. This man has a broken arm already. How did y'all find him like this? He got 2 busted eyes, a broken nose. That's how they found you. That's what they're sticking with. And well, people, y'all know how it go. That code of blue. They're going to stick together for theirs. So, whoever or you took out for whatever reason, whether it be personal or otherwise, well, now you just made it very personal with every cop that you cross paths with. Yeah, y'all. You just took out one of their brothers. They not fitting to play with you. Oh, no, no, no. So, when a cop killer finally makes it to the county jail, you're not going to be given the regular amenities of the county. Oh, no. You will get a cafeteria plate at the very end if Big Bubba ain't snatched 2. If the homies over there ain't take 2 each. If there's anything left for you, you might eat. You better have some money on your books, because counting on them COs to make sure you get a plate, oh, that's not going to happen. They could care less if you live or unalive. So, then you're not going to end up in a working pod. They're not going to chance you going to work and possibly doing something crazy and I'm like, nah. You are going straight to lockup. The chances of you being out in population and on a bid for unaliving a cop is slim to none. You barking up the wrong tree. You are headed directly to lockup with no pass. Nope. You won't be getting, smoke. You won't get all the good food from the cafeteria, the extra food that you could possibly purchase. You're not going to get sunlight. You'll be lucky if you get a shower once a week. That's if the guard feels like it. Because see, now your hands are tied. Your life is in that officer's hands. And he gonna do whatever he want with you. Whenever he want. So, there's been instances where people go in on charges like that and disappear, y'all. Their families don't know what happened to them. They get beat down so bad, they throw them in a lockup cell for weeks to heal. So they can't get visits and people can't see what they look like and make complaints and reports and this and that. There's nobody to call, y'all. So think about that before you pull that thing and unalive an officer of the law. Think about the consequences that you will suffer. Now, if it's a life or death situation and you're defending yourself, by all means, I'm all for defending myself. You gotta do what you gotta do. But under no circumstances are you to aim at an officer and bow, bow, bow on purpose for no apparent reason. Nah, that's not justice. That's just stupid. You just giving your life away. Because they will catch you. They're going to put in more effort to catch you, first of all. Because you are a large threat now. You just took out one of theirs. So they are going to find you. And why do you think they're in such a rush to find you? Why do you think is 40 of them running through the city looking for you? Because when they find you, they have strict orders to stomp your teeth in the ground. Yeah. Just bring them back with a heartbeat, y'all. Something that we can prosecute. Yeah. I don't care if he's half dead. Put him on the machine and we're going to prosecute him. Yeah. So, when you get dragged into court looking like you done got ran over by a truck and the judge just looked the other direction because he already know what happened. He already see your charges and he is asking no questions except to the prosecutor. What are you asking for remand? Does this inmate have a bail or not? And the answer will always be no. You ain't going home. You ain't never going home. If you make it out, you just got lucky. But you will suffer. So, in this video, we are going to discuss what happens to a guy named Cliff, who's a bank robber, y'all. And he's not a good one, obviously. Pretty much, Cliff would set some alarms off. The police would get called. And in Cliff's efforts to get away, he just start busting, y'all. I mean, bow, bow, bow. He just busting. He not even looking. He just busting back. Bow, bow, bow. Jump in his car and he out. He trying to be out. But Cliff ain't got nowhere to go. He ain't got no family. He ain't got no money, obviously. That's why he's robbing the bank. So, it wouldn't be long before Cliff would get caught. And Cliff, he would just do the stupidest things, y'all. For a bank robber, he's riding around with a cell phone that they can pinpoint his every GPS movement. So the detectives start putting things together and they're looking at the GPS movements going around from one bank in the area to another. And they're starting to circulate. There's some way they can triangulate and pinpoint exactly who or what or where that person is. That's how they caught Cliff, y'all. Through a cell phone. And he wouldn't get more than $50,000 out of 3 banks, y'all. That's what I'm saying when I say Cliff wasn't good at bank robbing. He got about 50 grand out of 3 banks. That kind of wasn't worth the time that he got. He got over 25 years. You know, they didn't run all of his charges together. So anyway, Cliff will get caught. Now, this man hasn't even been prosecuted yet, but they saw the video footage of him busting. So they know without a doubt in their minds, they don't care about no judge, no jury, no peers, none of that. They saw this man they have in custody busting back at they people, y'all. Now, when Cliff was busting his gun, he popped an officer named Greg. Greg didn't make it. Greg was unalived on the spot before the medics could even show up. Now, this is where the story starts to take somewhat of a twist. More of a twist than it already has, because as you could very well, derive from what's happened already, Cliff is about to get his ass whooped when these cops get a hold of him. So, y'all, they catch him hiding out at an abandoned house in town. They drag him on out of there, y'all. They dragged him into the woods behind that very abandoned house that he was at. They got these billy clubs with like metal in between them. It's rubber on the outside and it's metal on the inside. They got to popping him and popping him. Them things, they call them bone crushers. They break bones, y'all. They just popping him. Bang! 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 Tearing him up, y'all. Now, they stand him up against a tree. And they taking turns, y'all. They taking turns sucker punching him. Bang! 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 They not even doing no talking, y'all. Only thing one or two of them said was, "This is for Greg." And a few times he caught a couple of knees to the stomach. And they was just working on boy out. He's spitting red stuff up. He's in and out of consciousness. So finally, they drag him on back to the squad car, the cuffs on him, and they throw him in there. Now they get him back to the station. They throw him in a cell. They take all his clothes off, y'all. Throw him in a cold cell. Just throw him there on the floor. Red stuff coming out of him still and everything. They don't care. They turn the air conditioning up. They got the air conditioner on 59 up in there, y'all. Now they walking around, they got coats on. And they don't care. They say, "Man, fuck them." Everybody told him, "Hey, don't even look his direction. Just keep it moving. He asks you for anything, just keep walking. Don't give him a cup of water. Don't even give him a cracker to eat. He'll eat whenever he gets to the county. Well, transport's not coming for 12 hours. He'll be all right." And well, Cliff just sat there, starving, y'all. Hurting. I think he might even have had a broken finger or two. Now, Cliff, he gets put in the bus and they take him right on down to prison. So, the laws everywhere are different. It just so happens in North Carolina, it don't matter if you've been sentenced or if you're still going to trial. They'll throw you on in the state penitentiary either way. You could go do hard time and possibly be acquitted and get off. And you just spent 3 years of your life fighting this charge that should have been in a low minimum county jail or something, but you've been in a medium or maximum facility with people that aren't alive for fun. So, let's get to Greg, y'all. Greg was a cop. He got gunned down by Cliff. Now, of course, Cliff wouldn't know it, but the prison he landed in just so happened to be C.O. Brown's prison. And C.O. Brown is Greg's first cousin on his mama's side. Yeah, y'all. C.O. Brown, he already got wind of the whole thing. He know that he coming to the prison. And he already has a plan to deal with him. And unfortunately for Cliff, C.O. Brown's plan doesn't involve Cliff ever coming home from that prison. He's going to do very hard time. And the likelihood of him making it out is slim to none. Because, well, C.O. Brown is going to put him in the worst dorm he can possibly be in. He's not going to put him in a cell by himself. He's going to put him in a dorm with all the gangs so they can extort him, rob him, and mess him up psychologically. Yeah, that's the first step. So, that's what he would do. As soon as he got around to it, moved him on over. All right, inmate, come with me, you're moving. Where am I going? Inmate, come with me, you're moving. Now. Go ahead and move him, pack his stuff up. They take him over there where the blood's at. You already know, y'all. He came in there with a big old bag of commissary. They was looking at him like hounds. Like, yeah, we about to ravage that bag. As soon as he puts it down. They went right up to him. Yo, we need that bag. And he Cliff huh? You heard me. You can't walk through here with a bag that big and expect to live, white boy. And Cliff why I gotta be all that? You know, why you gotta call me that? Say, man, BAM! Sucker punched him right in the face. Ain't nobody trying to talk to you. I said, give me the bag before I take it. So Cliff just handed the bag over. That's what I thought. What cell you in? And he pointing up there to the cell. He said, from now on, you come down here and you report to me. You ask me, can you move anywhere in this unit? I don't want to see you eating the soup without my acknowledgement. Are we understood? And Cliff yeah, just don't hit me no more. Just don't hit me no more, man. He scurry off and go run up to his cell. Now, they done took everything this man got. All his soap, his commissary, his stamps with envelopes, whatever food he had, whatever personal items he had are now gone. You are one step closer to being homeless in prison. That's what they call homeless in prison. When you get all your belongings taken and you can't get them back. I mean, some people go as far as stealing people's personal pictures, y'all. Yeah, that's it. But some of these guys are going to take that personal picture in the shower and go gun their life away. Yeah, y'all. That's just what happens in the penitentiary. Don't go to the penitentiary if you scared. I can't stress this enough, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all in every video, do not go to the penitentiary if you scared. Because if you scared, you already lost the battle. They smell it and sense that fear on you. And well, they gravitate right to it. After C.O. Brown would let the Bloods have a little fun with him, he'd take him and drop him over in the Crip pod. Now, the Crips get brutal, y'all. Now, being that this man doesn't have anything for them to take, they just gonna punk him left and right. They just gonna beat him up for the heck of it, y'all. They just don't like anybody that ain't them. And that's what happens to Cliff, y'all. He gets in that pod, and from the rip, dude told him, you're gonna have to fight for your bunk. If you want your mat back, because sometimes if people don't have a room or a bunkie, they'll take that extra mat that's up there and put it on their bed so they can have a softer mat. They got two. Do it from the rip. You're going to have to fight if you want your mat back. And Cliff like, oh, come on, man. Come on. Just let me get the mat, man. Popped him in his face. Bah, bah, bah. I said, you're going to have to fight for your mat. Cliff's like, no, man. I don't want to fight, man. I don't want to fight. I mean, his whole joint leaking. He bust open like a faucet. He just head back up. He like, fuck it, man, fuck it. I'll lay on the metal, man. I'll lay on the metal. Now, Cliff is up there on that top bunk on the metal, balled up, bleeding. Hurting. Man, do you know somebody came in that cell, grabbed him off the top bunk? Shut up! Shut all that noise up! Boom! Slammed him from the top bunk straight to the concrete floor, y'all. You're like, oh, why you do that, man? Hey, come on, man. I ain't do nothing to y'all. Why y'all doing this to me? Why y'all doing this to me? And, well, they'll laugh at him, y'all. They'll laugh at him, and they'll just say, hey, that's something you ought to go ask C.O. Brown. You ought to go ask C.O. Brown why he dropped you in this tank, partner. As they commence to stomping him out, beating the dog mess out of him. And then after all of that, they put him on the gate, y'all. Boom! Get your ass up out of here. C.O. Brown like, alright, well, there's only one more stop for you, Mr. Cliff. And Cliff is like in and out of consciousness. He holding his eye, he can barely see. He's like, who are you? Who are you? Are you C.O. Brown? And C.O. Brown like, I am. And he's like, well, what did I do to you, man? Why are you doing this to me? What did I do? He's like, you know that officer that you gunned down in the street? You heartlessly gunned down as you tried to rob that bank? I didn't mean to do it, man. I didn't mean to do it. Oh, no, I don't want to hear that because he's gone. That was my cousin. I grew up with that man. He's gone because of you. So now you have to pay. You have to pay. And you are here in my playground. You will pay the ultimate price with your life. And all he could do is just say, please, man, please don't do nothing to me. And C.O. Brown looked around, make sure he wasn't in the view of them cameras. He hit him with a stiff elbow. Back! Shut up, inmate! I said, shut up! And boom! Tossed him in the cell by himself. So now, believe it or not, y'all, Cliff is relieved. Even though he just got a couple teeth knocked out, his jaw feel like it's dislocated, but he's relieved to be in the cell by himself. Well, that wouldn't last for long, y'all. C.O. Brown went to the top floor of the lockup, where they keep the monsters at, y'all. Yep. And as you can probably already think what's going to happen, he lets out the Punisher. Yep. The Punisher had been up there in lockup for almost 2 years from his last incident, y'all. The finisher wasn't there. It was only the Punisher. But C.O. Brown, he's breaking the rules right now. He is breaking the rules by letting this inmate out of lockup. For one, he's taking a huge risk that the Punisher don't do nothing to him. Because once you let the Punisher out of that cell, it normally takes 5 to 6 people to subdue him. Yeah, y'all. Y'all remember how big the Punisher is. But C.O. Brown has a talk with him before he opens the door. And he said, I have something for you. I need you to promise me you're not going to try to do nothing crazy to me when I open this door. I have somebody for you. He killed my cousin, man. He unalived him in cold blood. This is my cousin. If you do me this favor, I will let you do what you like with this inmate. And I'll cover it up for you. So Punisher looking at him, he's like, so you telling me you gonna let me rape somebody? He said, I'm telling you, I'm gonna let you do whatever you want to him. The Punisher, his eyes got big like, you gonna let me unalive him? He said, listen, man, I don't want to know and I can't know anything that you have planned. But that is what I'm saying. If I let you out this cell, will you take care of that for me? And the Punisher said, gladly. Let me out. So, pull the Punisher on out. He walking him down them steps, y'all. He taking him through the back steps so the other inmates won't see him slipping the Punisher into that cell. Yo, he slipped Punisher into that cell real quick, and he gave him a blade. He said, listen, when you done, just whistle, and I'll come and get you back up in your cell before anybody know what happened. We'll make it look like he unalived himself or something. Whatever we gotta do, but I'll get you out of the way first. And well, y'all, without getting too gory with the details, the Punisher went in that room and did what he was known best for, punishing. He grabbed him. He said, we ain't fitting to do no talking. He ripped his pants off, turned them around, and y'all already know how the Punisher get down. No grease. Wow! Yeah, y'all. So, after that, the Punisher said, I'm sorry. I have an obligation, and I gotta do this to you. He backed out a dude and started poking him with that poker. Whoosh, bow, 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 bow. And well, Punisher whistling. C.O. Brown, come on over there. You're like, all right, come on. Lock dude back up in there. Leave the poker on the ground. And well, that's how they came to find him, y'all. They found Cliff like that in the morning. C.O. Brown don't normally be on that floor. The guards that normally be on that floor, they went on break. Because you know what? This cop unaliver had to be taught a lesson. So those officers went on a quick smoke break. They didn't see anything happening out of the ordinary. And just by chance, all the cameras were off in that pod for the last 15 minutes. So y'all, Cliff met his end to the Punisher. And it was a sanctioned hit by C.O. Brown, an officer of the law. You don't mess with law enforcement, people. When you mess with law enforcement, you are messing with your life. So, again, stay away from law enforcement, stay away from weapons, especially if you're a felon, and stay out of prison if you're scared. Alright, y'all, that's gonna wrap this one up. I hope you like this story. Get in the comment box, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about it, people. We need to have these kind of conversations to keep our young ones safe from the stupidity. Don't go out there busting at officers, because it's just going to be one of the worst things you ever did in your life. I promise you. Alright, it's your boy Corner. I'm out.